All right, welcome back, campers. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. Today is almost the 1-year anniversary of when I bought Elizabeth this Cressy spear gun for her birthday. And since that date, we have speared approximately grand total
Bucket zero!
that many fish. So today is going to mark our 1-year anniversary. So we thought, you know, maybe it would be a good time to get in the water and try to learn some spearfishing.
So I think today is going to be less focused on spearing a fish and more focused on breath holds and being able to hold our breath for a considerable amount of time. It's not going to be like a 2-minute breath hold or anything.
No, the goal for me today is just to be able to stay underwater for 30 seconds. That seems like a really teeny tiny amount of time, and it is. So, you know, not trying to prove anything here, just trying to get in the water and get comfortable and stay underwater for 30 seconds, which is a lot different than, you know, we've been practicing at home. Sitting on your couch for 30 seconds is different than staying underwater for 30 seconds. So
you're talking about when you go down to the bottom and then stay for 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the descent, then stay for 30 seconds, then go up.
That's very complicated. I just want to stay underwater for 30 seconds. I want my digital watch so that I can read that easily, because analog's a hard time. And we got our spear gun. We might bring this out later just to try, you know, getting used to swimming with it. We're well versed in firearms, but not well versed in these rubber band firearms. Guns, yeah.
Not used to rubber banded weapons.
So we picked a nice pretty spot here on Guam, and we're pretty calm day, which is rare, and we're going to go ahead and hop in the water and see if we can practice holding our breath and training our body so it can handle CO2 a little bit better, because apparently it's not really your breath that you're holding more oxygen. It's more that your body has a better time dealing with the CO2 that builds up in your bloodstream. And the other thing is to keep your heart rate low that we've been reading. So nothing keeps my heart rate low like this Bang energy drink with creatine that I just slammed. So resting heart rate currently at like 100. So let's go ahead and see how much this Bang with super creatine is going to mess up my ability to hold my breath for more than a few seconds at a time.
I'm pretty sure a teenager had a heart attack from drinking 2 of those.
I'm twice as old as a teenager, so I should have twice the tolerance of Bang than a teenager should.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and get finned up, and we haven't even worn our fins in a while, so let's get finned up and see if our equipment still works, and if it's dry rotted or not, or if everything still works. So let's hop in the water and let's see what we can find.
Wait a second. What's this?
This, if you're watching us, you're mostly learning with us or just watching us stumble and fail at stuff. If you actually want to learn how to spearfish or want to do something like this and you're coming to Guam and you're looking to have an experience like this with someone who knows what they're doing, check out Guam Fishing Expeditions, because he'll take you spearfishing, he'll teach you how. You want to go rod and reel fishing, anything. Don't learn from us, learn from him. Watch us for entertainment of watching us struggle to do it. If you actually want to do it, you can come learn from this guy right here at Guam Fishing Expeditions.
Nice. First things first, you have to have a dive flag to let everybody know that's passing by that there are people in the water. And we don't have the buoy or a pole, but we just have the flag itself. So Chris is just rigging it up
With a rusty clothes hanger. So far, the most difficult thing about today is looking cool and keeping your ponytail out of your mask. So, anyway, So for safety, and in case there's, you know, a shallow water blackout or something where you pass out, we're only going to take turns seeing if we can hold our breath for 30 seconds, you know, because we're just starting. But so one person will stay at the top with the camera and is not holding their breath, and the other person will be trying to hit that 30-second magic marker.
All right, so on my attempt here, I've got about 5 pounds on my weight belt of lead, and that's helping me stay down, but I'm still positively buoyant at this depth, which is about 15 feet here. So if I was to let go of the bottom, I would just naturally float back up with this weight. So that's part of this learning process, is figuring out how much weight we need for a given environment and for a given depth, because the weight belt's effect does change with the depth. So I failed here, back to the top.
Burns you to have come so close.
You want to do it?
Yeah. Alright, so this is my go, and I also have a weight belt on, but I only have 3 pounds. And once I reach down for the rope line, I actually am floating up a lot more than what Chris was when we were in a shallower area. So I definitely need to add more weight. It's always great to be positively buoyant, but you use a lot more energy and oxygen in your blood trying to stay down, and that's not really beneficial when you're trying to spearfish and stay at the bottom in one spot. But at least for testing purposes, it's fine because I had a rope to hold on to, and I was able to make the 30 seconds just fine. And it's a lot less effort when you have to go back up. I used to be able to hold my breath so long.
All right, so got the caffeine out of my bloodstream and just got shown up pretty bad by Elizabeth. So gonna go ahead and give it another shot. And this time the water is slightly deeper. Not sure, the boat was reading at 50 feet, but this is where the anchor of the boat was. So, you know, probably 30 feet. Was having a lot easier time at this depth because the density of the water helps hold you down here. And this is where I was starting to think about, you know, if I was going to be in a deeper area, I might want some less weight so that if I was to have a problem, that I would still remain positively buoyant, float back up to the surface. But this is a much more comfortable place to be with this weight. Still positively buoyant, just barely having to kick to get back to the top. So this weight feels really good for this depth.
So this is really cool. Chris was looking for me because he had spotted a green sea turtle off in the distance. And it's funny, you really can't see that far underwater, maybe only 20 feet in front of you, and then everything kind of fades off into blue. So I was trying to catch up as much as possible with the amount of air that I had left. But this is a juvenile. They get pretty significantly bigger than this, but it didn't really mind me until Chris came up. Chris was swimming a lot faster than I was on much more air, and the turtle got kind of freaked out, but really cool sight to see.
All right, so holding our breath is a lot harder than we remember. Used to remember doing it. I used to live in Okinawa and go snorkeling, you know, weekly, several times a week even. She used to work in the Bahamas doing research where she was always with a mask and snorkel daily. And then since then, we have figured out that we cannot hold our breath for shit.
No.
As you just saw. But we're gonna switch places and see if we can find a nice ledge at the drop-off and maybe even find some fish that we could possibly shoot and miss a spear gun at. Because we didn't see anything there except a sea turtle and some really small reef fish. So all right, the fish finder has us at about 25 feet and drop off to about 60 or 80 feet. So we're hoping we can find a little ledge here and maybe see some bigger fish coming in. Might try to take the spear gun take the spear gun with us this time, and just see if there's any opportunity where we could possibly spear a fish today and put some dinner on the table.
Otherwise, it's Taco Bell, right? Taco Bell? Taco Bell?
As I enter the water with all the grace of an Olympic diver, JK LOL, sideways laughing emoji face, I regain my composure and grab the spear gun and load it up to do a little practice with getting used to the swimming dynamics with swimming with a spear gun. It's a little deeper here, and as we ascend down, it's probably 40 to 50 feet deep, and then we're going to rest on a ledge that you can't see in the screen because we lose light with the camera, and peer off into the abyss of probably 100 feet deep. A lot of little schooling fish, but nothing to shoot. Again, everything's only about 12 inches or less.
So once Chris hits the bottom, we see about 3 or 4 different schools of fish, and they're mixed with gold spot sea bream, juvenile parrotfish, and goatfish, amongst some other smaller fish. But all of them were definitely too small for us to spear. We're not that talented. As Chris is still looking, I get distracted by the staghorn coral because that's kind of what I did my research on in the Bahamas, and I couldn't help but be a nerd.
All right, we're exhausted and unfruitful, fruitless, fruit barren, fish barren. We spent 2 hours swimming just now, and
We couldn't find anything except for just small fish, and we just decided we don't want to shoot something for the sake of shooting something to make a video. We don't want to shoot something small.
Yeah, today wasn't necessarily just about getting a fish. It was getting comfortable being back in the water, practicing swimming with the spear gun, how to hold the spear gun in the water, not pointing it at each other, keeping it in a safe direction, more so familiarization with the tools and equipment and being back in the water. We started getting comfortable being underwater, a little deeper. We started swimming around 40 feet deep and trying to stay down there for a few seconds. We didn't shoot any fish. Never saw too many fish. We saw some schools, but nothing was in the schools was ever over a foot long. And again,
yeah, I'm not sure where people go here on Guam to get the bigger fish for spearfishing. Whether or not is there a limitation that we're not going deep enough, or is it where we are that there just aren't larger fish?
We picked a deep spot. This is not a good beginner spot. Probably this. We're swimming on a 25 to 40 feet deep, and then there was a drop off that goes maybe to 100 feet deep pretty quick. And when you can just now start fishing at maybe 25 or 30 feet deep, that's not a good place for beginners, I don't think, because I start running out of air.
By the time you get to the bottom, you're like, oh, okay, I'm done, I need to come back up.
There's not any real hunting. It's more just exercise at this point.
You want the career change in big fish, you got to be willing to put on them big boy panties and sail out to the deep water.
So, but we got a little familiar. We got to, got out and used our equipment so we can start this spearfishing journey. Probably best, a lot of people have told me, is that if we just get a dive light and go at night when the fish are asleep, and that would ease that learning curve a little bit.
I just feel bad doing it at night when they're sleeping.
I'd rather die in my sleep. It sounds better to me.
Instead of stressed out running away.
So we have some squid. We're going to do a little bottom fishing and see if we can put a fish on the boat today. If not, still successful. We got to get out and familiarize ourselves with our equipment today.
Yep. Found out that a bunch of stuff is broken, like Chris's boots.
Yeah, my boots are wearing a hole. Also, comment down below if you think I should shave my head, because today I was not having it. When you have long hair and it constantly wants to get in front of the mask while you're already trying to learn the gun, learn what you're doing, practice holding your breath, and you constantly just have stringy blonde hairs in front of your mask all the time.
And in it.
Yeah, so today pushed me over the edge where I might shave my head pretty soon, so. But we're gonna go ahead and throw some squid on the our old bottom fishing rigs here and see if we can pull a little baby fish or two up into the boat.
I'm scared to go back without any fish.
Yeah.
Our fish finder's not marking much. I'll show you, but she's not marking much, so we're not really
optimistic.
Too optimistic. Yeah, I'll show you the fish finder here. All right, so let's get some squid on these hooks and maybe have a cold one.
Oh, dare we?
We just wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone that has donated via Patreon or PayPal. These donations have gone towards improving cameras, microphones, repairing drones, and boat gas. And we're definitely not forgetting the people that have purchased Rock Bottom or Candy Adventures merchandise. We love getting the messages and pictures of you guys wearing the stuff in your day-to-day.